Hello, good friends, it's the Tri-King, and thanks for joining me for my big new project. A game that has been played a lot on YouTube, and I totally understand that. But I just really want to play it because it's the fall, and this is one of my most absolute favorite games to play during this time. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I've been wanting to do a lot of Zelda games on my channel anyway, and this is the one that just has a lot to it. And I know I could tell I may get a lot of heat for doing an overplayed game on YouTube, but I'm just gonna do it in a very entertaining way, just hopefully at a level you guys will like the best. I'm pretty sure it'll be fun. I especially want to dedicate this project to people in my life that have really never experienced Zelda, or even heard about this but never really got to experience it. I just want to dedicate it to them in that kind of nature. I'm gonna get this started now. And yeah, I already have a file created, but that was a practice file before I started playing, so I'm going to create a new one. And instead of the name Link, I am going to have some other kind of name to put in. Let me think about it for a second. I may have to make a cut here. Okay, I've thought of a name now. This is going to be the first initials of 3 good people in my life that have been kind of supportive for my channel, but have also been really good friends with me in life. I am going to put in the first initial, B, for my good friend Becky. She has been an absolute great friend of mine and has really liked a lot of Zelda things. We talk about that stuff a lot. So I'm going to put that in for now. The next letter will be E for a good friend of mine named Eric. I've met him quite a lot, especially about a couple weekends ago for a very special event, and we had so much fun together. And he really enjoys watching my videos on my channel so much as well. And one more. The letter S for Scotty. Scotty has been an absolute great friend of mine. We just love hanging out and everything, just chatting. You get the picture. So yeah, Beth will be my name. I know that sounds more like a girlish name, but I'm just gonna use that for it. Hope that's not a problem. That will be my name. And we will get this started. Now, I am not going to really read what's on the screen and everything. If you want to, that's fine. But I am just going to pretty much go over my memories with this game, dating back to pretty much when it first came out, or even within a couple years of it coming out. I first got this game for Christmas of '99. It came out in the oh yeah, it came out in November of '98. I never even heard of it back then. You got a boy who doesn't have a fairy. And a dark, stormy night at the castle. But yeah, when I first started to play this game, there was a file I selected, and it was pretty much already at a point where it was time to rescue Zelda. and that's a very typical theme in Legend of Zelda games anyway. I pretty much didn't really care for it that much. But when the fall of 2000 came, I really started to get into it. And then I started a fresh new file, and then just worked my way through, and the rest is history. And it was this one game that got me into the Legend of Zelda series for the past 13 years. Yes, 13 years. It has been just an absolute pleasure becoming a Zelda fan back then, and playing a lot of its games ever since. I haven't played every single one, but they are just an absolute blast to play. And sorry if I'm skipping the text way too fast. If you feel like I'm going too fast and want to read something right here, just pause the video and read what it says. And yeah, we got got a character that's talking a little bit in the form of Shakespeare. And oh, by the way, I'm playing this on the Virtual Console. I used to play it on the N64, but I just haven't really liked the feel of it that much on it, especially with very slow movements with the graphics and everything. But now that I'm playing it on here, they move much sharper. They look the same, but everything moves just a little bit faster, and I like that. Anyways, our fairy has come in, wanting to wake me up. When I look awake anyway, it's just more like just a trembling feeling. Come on. You probably can't depend on such a lazy boy. I mean, it was just a moving around light that wakes him up. In which he finally did. Navi the Fairy. Pretty much one of the most annoying sidekicks in the Zelda series, but is really informative. And it's useful for what's called a targeting system. That'll be used quite a lot in this game. But yeah, starting off in what's called the Ocarina Forest. And I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, right? And I'm still kind of laughing that I called myself Beth. And no, I'm not talking to her, I don't really need to. As far as how I'm going to do this game, I'm not going to be collecting every single scene in here because I haven't really done that. All I care about is just trying to collect the most important things in the game. There are a few irrelevant things I will collect, but not the ones that are so irrelevant. Yeah, gotta press the C stick up. And yeah, I said C stick, not C up, because I'm playing with a GameCube controller. It's just better to play with a GameCube controller when you have the Wii connected, so that you're not wasting any batteries with either the Wii remote or its classic controller. I wish the classic controller had the same kind of plug-in as a GameCube cord, but it doesn't. It plugs into the remote and just uses more battery. And our first major item is the Ocarina Sword. Hidden treasure of the Ocarina. But keep these words in mind. You can borrow it for a while. I'm like, who are we borrowing it from, though? Well, yeah, from the Ocarina, but is there a person in particular, though? That's my question. There's a boulder coming up here. Wait till it goes. That's why I had to stop. I really didn't want to get myself hit by it. Especially just early on in this game. What else can I say about this game? Yeah, I'll say it again that this was the one game that really got me into the Zelda series. I used to play the very first one for NES. My LP of it I did back in March. I first played it in like the fall of 94 or 95. I didn't really understand it that well. I couldn't even get past the first dungeon. But then it would be about 5 years later that I started to play this and just really started to get into the series a whole lot more. Now, in case you're wondering why I'm just wandering like aimlessly around or something, I had to collect some money to buy a very very important item to progress along in the game. But here's a place to get some more money. Inside these chests. And oh yeah, the game's currency is rupees. I didn't even know they were rupees in the first game until this one. And I think rupee is actually a currency of India, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there's another 5. 40 is the number I need to get to. Hi Beth, look this way. Go over here with Z. And now if you take a look at how it says Z, you can't use Z with a GameCube controller, you can only use the L button. Which is kind of funny. And if you go back here, it's like the shop just gives 5 rupees to somebody who's just lucky enough to go back there. This is the key thing to buy. Everything else is pretty much can't really use yet, or just has a very limited use anyway. But yeah, if I don't have any, oh whoops, I don't need to buy anything else. But if I don't have the shield equipped, I can't go any further along. This way is where we need to go to the Great Deku Tree. The character that summoned us, and talks a little bit, but not 100% like Shakespeare. There, what's that? You have a Deku Shield, and what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Yeah, he is a pretty funny individual, but I don't like it when he says this. We'll never accept you as one of us. How'd you get to be the favorite of Saria? Yeah, it was that girl who came to my house and we just walked by her. We don't really need to talk to her. But there will be a time when we do have to, and that is after we have the conversation with the Deku Tree. And killing these plants gives me what's called a Deku Stick. These I consider much more valuable than this other particular item you can get from these Deku Babas. And I'm gonna see if I can not collect that other item for like the first 3 or 4 weeks of this LP. I'm gonna say that way. Oh Navi, thou hast returned. Welcome. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless. I can't believe he comes up with moons. I'm like, is that his way of coming up with the word days? It could be, but it just sounds like it. As the servants of evil gain strength. Vile climate causes nightmares. Verily, thou hast felt it. Time has come to test your courage. I need you to break this curse. Do you have enough courage? Yes, I do. Then enter, brave Beth. And thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Beth. And Beth, when Navi speaks, you see up with the welder words of wisdom.